Hello, everybody. I'm Mario Linhares, and this is the world premiere of RIO+AGRO Talks. On tonight's show, we are going to have one of the greatest specialists on sustainability in the world, Dr. Florian Kongoli, who's developed the Flogen Sustainability Framework. And he's going to be the first of many interviewees we are going to have on this show that will bring the best of RIO+AGRO that take place in the marvelous city in Rio de Janeiro from the 29th of July to the 2nd of August. RIO+AGRO, the International Forum on Sustainable Agro Environmental Development, has over 50 lectures, national and international, and you are going to have most of these specialists that are going to be discussing sustainability, agribusiness, and all the policies involved in it here on RIO+AGRO Talks on Tuesdays in an English version and on Thursdays in Portuguese. And before we start, I would like you to subscribe to the channel, leave your like and your comment, and share this with your friends. I'm Mario Linhares, as I said, and let's start working. And as I said, I have the pleasure of having here with me Dr. Florian Kongoli. Hello, Dr. Florian. How are you?
Yes. Hello, Mario. How are you?
Very well. It's nice to talk to you. And you're going to be one of the keynote speakers of RIO+AGRO, the International Forum on Sustainable Agro-Environmental Development in Rio de Janeiro that takes place from the 29th of July to the 2nd of August. And first, I would like to know, you are an honorary citizen of Rio de Janeiro, and what are you expecting from this show?
Well, as an honorary citizen of Rio de Janeiro, as a carioca, I'm expecting too much. This event it is cover agro, which is I think it was 20% of GDP of Brazil is in agriculture, and employs 20% of people, if my statistics are correct. So this is the right time and the right place to start Rio, because it's the magnificent city. So for sure, since I am an honorary citizen, and it represents the entire Brazil and entire agriculture in Brazil, in all states or provinces of Brazil.
Yeah, just to add a little bit to the data you've mentioned, 20% of the world food is produced here in Brazil. And there are some data about this that has been published recently by NASA that states that Brazil has a very sustainable production, since we have 2/3 of our natural forests preserved. And since you're one of, as I said in the beginning, one of the greatest specialists in sustainability, and you're going to be presenting your Flogen Sustainability Framework, I'd like to start talking about it. When you developed it and what it is about, what can you expect from your lecture in Brazil, in Rio de Janeiro?
Well, as you know, we started Sustainability Through Science Summit, or Sustainable Industrial Processing Summit, in 2003, when nobody was speaking about sustainability. At that time, people participated, but they did not pay too much attention on the word sustainability. Some people, they got it, they heard it without knowing what it is. So, and we are proud that 20 years later, this is a buzzword. Sustainability is a buzzword. And this is quite an achievement, because in the beginning it started with including sustainability somehow by chance, or only one segment of other meetings, and now we hear it all the time. It's a buzzword all over the world, and this started by us in 2003, and it was developed with the time. But during all these years, our meeting has sustainability in his title. It's 100% dedicated to sustainability through science and technology. But all during this time, we found out that there's so many confusion in literature, and confusion continues today, and it's really astonishing. If you ask many people are about sustainability, they're going to say anything, but nobody has a clear idea what it is. It was exactly like that before when we started, and it is, strangely enough, although it is a buzzword, it exists still today. For example, when we started, the title was Sustainability Through Science and Technology, or Sustainable Industrial Processing Summit. That time, those people that was dealing with sustainability, most of them, almost 95%, were against technology. Technology was considered like a tool that makes people slaves to technology. So we should forget about technology, not to be slaves of the iPhones or the mobile phones that was in the beginning. When we fought against this, in first years, 2010, 11, and so on. And what do you hear today? Everything you hear today, it is net zero, using technology to come to net zero. So this is a huge development, huge contribution we did to the world. This is what we were, our goal was this, and basically we achieved. Everybody today is speaking about technology. Not too many people you hear today it is about against technology. Some are against artificial intelligence, but that's a different story. The artificial intelligence is exactly another technology, which is for us as automation. Before, when we started, these people were against automation because it takes job from people, creates unemployment. For us, it was not okay. Automation was a sustainable activity. We have argumented this, and we have so strong arguments showing that automation is sustainable. And since we are AI is another technology, actually basically the automation with some nuances against artificial intelligence is also a sustainable activity. So this confusion sent us to create Flogen Sustainability Framework. Why? Because we wanted to clarify this huge confusion around the world, in every continent, in every field, in many conferences. People try to use to put. They had something dear to their heart. There's nothing wrong with it, and they wanted to put this at the sustainability. For example, government people, they want to put government at sustainability. People dealing with culture want culture there. People that deal with human rights want to put human rights there. So everybody was putting this poor word sustainability was getting everything from all the corners, any field, any goal inside. So basically, we're mixing in one basket everything, things that have nothing to do with each other. We're mixing pear with apples, and this was the situation when we create phrase sustainability framework. We divided criteria from the actors, from the pillars. That's a very big contribution because they were put in one basket without any definition. So for us,
And about this, sorry to interrupt you, about this criteria and players and agents, you've basically separated this criterias, the three criterias that balanced. When you find a balance, you reach sustainability, right? And they have three pillars that sustain the three actors, the main actors that make it possible, right? Can you clarify to us what are these criterias and what are the agents?
yes. You hear around today environmental sustainability, social sustainability. So basically, this is a show of confusion. So you really do not have environmental sustainability or social sustainability. You have sustainability, and sustainability has three criteria, and you can show it here if you hear it. It's first of all, it's economic growth. Second is environmental protection and the other one is social advancement. They are equally important. They are equally important. Why? Because if you forget one, you are not sustainable. Well, what the society did until now, we forgot about environmental protection most of the time, and we were concentrated to economic growth. That was not good. That was not sustainable. Now we jump to the environment, and then we forgot the economic growth. So everything was environment, environment, environment. That's fine, and nothing wrong with that, but it's not sustainable. So today, then it came COVID. What did we did? What did you do during the COVID? We forgot social development. We forgot economic growth. We forgot the environment. It was health. Health entered to social development actually, but then we forgot all of the others. So nobody was dealing with environment during COVID. It was nobody was dealing with in the industry. Everything stopped. So the primary is health, which is important. It's very important. It's a primary goal, and that's how it should be. But it is not sustainable if you forget the others. You should not forget environmental protection and economic growth. Now that there is still people did not understand this. Now we will continue 100% in environment. Now that is the economic crisis. We understand the economic growth. It is very important. So we're jumping one direction, jumping in the other direction, jumping in the other direction. Forget the others. Basically, we've been non-sustainable. And this
So
is
looking through these aspects, the Brazilian agribusiness is truly sustainable because, for example, in the Amazon, 80% of the properties, they have to be preserved in terms of environmental protection. Yes, and you generate economical growth. Since we said it's a very important participation in the GDP, and also you have social development because it generates jobs, it generates technology, and because of the technology, you need to educate and you need to train and prepare the workers who are going to operate machinery and all that, right?
yeah, that's you enter to the actors a little bit. Just I'm going there. So in order to be sustainable, simultaneously you have to protect the environment, develop the economy, ensure economic growth, and improve human life qualities. So this is social development. So in social development enters culture, enters human rights, enters health, uh, the longevity of humans, etc. In the economic protection, people do know already it is reducing CO2, protecting the environment, protecting fauna, fauna and flora, and all these things. But economic development is a big player, a big criteria. Sorry, not player. It's a criteria. Why? Because if you don't have the economy, if people suffer, don't have anything to eat, but they're not going to take care about the environment for sure. Forget about this. So, and then the agriculture in Brazil is very important. Why? It has been, for example, you mentioned Amazon. Amazon is they have called the very important for the environment because of the nature. However, there is a point. If people living in Amazon are poor, they have nothing to, their life is not developed. We are not we are not sustainable. Also, if so, the quality of life of people living in Amazon is bad. We are not sustainable. Although we have this very big, uh, uh, forests, which is very good. We are not against that, but having forests, we have to have people's living there, living in a good quality and improve their quality of life continuously, having jobs, and since I mentioned job, economic growth. If people live with the nature, their quality of life is bad. We are not fulfilling one criteria of sustainability, social development. But if we don't have economic growth, if we don't have jobs, if we don't have qualified jobs, still we are not fulfilling the economic development criteria. So basically, we are not sustainable. If we have three of them, we are sustainable. How this can be done? It's another story. We are not entering there, but these are criteria. Now, That's why people entered everything criteria: government, technology, science, etc. These are not criteria. Criteria are three: goals. Criteria are goals: economic growth, environmental protection, and social development. Now, who can help or hinder achieving simultaneously these criteria? Basically, there are three actors. First is science and technology. Science and technology is the most efficient and effective one to achieve the three criteria simultaneously. But it's science also. It's science and technology. But science needs money. Science needs some framework, not to be developed to be developed in such a way not to forget one of the criteria. For example, AI can be developed against human rights, people's human rights. So in this case, AI will not be sustainable because it will not fulfill the criteria of social development, of sustainability that I just mentioned. This one here. And so this is equally important, the other actor: government and management. Government, because it creates a framework in order that technology and science is not used against social development, it's not used against environment, and ensures economic growth. Three of them simultaneously. Management in companies is very important because they play the same role. They can hinder or help sustainability. So management and of various companies, they have to make sure that they fulfill the three criteria. So it's very important, one pillar. And law, government and management include law. So while the politician creates framework, lawyers enforce it. So these are all parts of the pillar of government or actor: government and management. But the other actor, which is the third one, but equally important, it is education and civil society. Education is whatever you do in science, whatever you do in government, you have to educate the young people for the future. If they are not educated properly and they jump once from the environment, I forgot the economy. Let's jump to the economy because we are in economic crisis and forget the environment. Or, we are in economic growth, but we forgot the quality of life of human beings. So you see it around the world today. Let's suffer. Let's make, because of the sustainability, let's suffer. Wash less, take shower less, and so on. These are jumping in one direction. They have to be fulfilled simultaneously. Quality of human life is very important. So these three can be achieved through agro. Agro. That's why you have Rio Agro environmental development. Why? Because it assures all these three criteria at the same time. Agro, as you said, employs 50% of the workforce. Good, big contribution. That's economic growth, by the way. And sailing, one of 5 people in the world eat Brazilian food. That's a big economic development, big economic growth. One of the criteria of sustainability is already fulfilled. The other one is social development. Social development. So people that work, they have they buy different different tools, different instruments there, and their quality of lives becomes much better. Although we are not have to use plastics, which are a little bit of convenience, but plastic bags are replaced by different materials back. This is
Exactly.
This is offered by science. So the goal is not to make people suffer, to use technology to increase the quality of life of people. So these type of materials come, this agriculture that you just mentioned, this fulfills the goal is to increase the quality of people, quality of life of people. So the more options they have, the happier they are, and the higher the lifespan of these people. This is quality of life.
Dr. Florian, let me just okay.
Just because environmental is the third one that agro in Brazil fulfills. This is the fulfillment of this Rio Agro, the Rio Mais Agro, because this has to be done in a certain way in order to protect the environment. But if you are speaking agro, we are already green in the classical point of view. We are already green. There's a lot of things to be done still, but you see, we are surrounded by green, and this is a great contribution to the environment. So already agriculture in Brazil fulfills up to a certain point the three criteria, but still a lot has to be done. That's why Rio Mais Agro.
Yeah, and you said something very interesting when you started speaking about automation. You're one of the biggest specialists of automation in the world. You've got a book called Automation
Yeah,
that has you've distributed over or nearly 100,000 copies. Have you reached
yeah.
100,000 copies yet?
Almost. We are almost there. Probably
Almost
next
there,
month will
right?
be 100. Yeah. We are
So
about 96,000.
96,000.
Yeah, yeah.
So there is a very famous scientist, Dr. Donna J. Nelson, that says that you are a pop star in science because of this, because uh, very few scientific books reach 100,000 copies. She said that when
That's
you
correct.
reached 50,000, and it's
Yeah,
almost doubled now.
yeah.
And how can automation help uh, a, a sector of the economy like the agribusiness?
Oh, a lot, a lot. Just a small background again. Why are in the preface of the book Automation? You can go and read it yourself. It's one page when I argue why automation is sustainable, because everybody there at the time was against automation. There are articles by famous people in New York Times, in famous magazines, and by really famous people. When I'm saying even advisors of Secretary General of United Nations, that full time they were against technology. It has been a full page, front page articles in 2013 in New York Times how technology and automation wreck the middle class. Full page, front page. So we fought against these concepts, and these are very famous people, and but somehow we taught them. Um, I have so many stories about this, but I don't think it's time here to go into detail. But this is what we do. We thought about this, and the preface of the book is about this: why automation is sustainable. And now, in 2019, I was invited in Singapore by Nanyang University of Technology, and then there I presented AI. 2019, nobody was speaking about AI. It was just a unknown term, like was sustainability in 2003, 2011. And then what you hear today, it is exactly, if you hear my presentation, it is exactly what you hear today. What should you do AI? We have to take measures not to get out of hand. Government should play a role. Everything the buzzwords today and the buzz arguments today are nothing new. Go in my lecture in Singapore on the occasion of inauguration of new institute. I was invited by the president of university. There you have everything what you hear today. So it's another contribution. I was so happy that everything there I mentioned there is a buzzword and buzz arguments. And even G7 in the last week, they had their subject was automation. And if you heard the conclusion and the discussion, basically it's nothing new. Everything was said in my presentation in 2019 in Singapore. It is available in the web. So how this help agronomy? Huge. One of the areas where automation helps agronomy, one of the areas where automation can be applied with huge benefits is agronomy, because normally it's always been, but now the potential is higher with AI and automation. It is really a huge field in front of us. And this, somebody will say, oh, we'll take the job, we'll take some jobs. Many people working in agronomy will not be able to work anymore because the machines will take over. Well, that is true, but by taking over the routine work from humans, exactly what I describe in my book. And my book was published 2012. 2012. There I say, doing more with less is one of the principles of sustainability. If some jobs are lost, this liberates the creative power of humans. Humans are not supposed to work on routine. machines work on routine and actually makes a better job than humans in routine. Human need to work on creativity. So these people that lose their job, the government can fund their re-education, education for free. That's the role of the government I just mentioned, equally important pillar. That's why there are three pillars: science and technology, government, and education. Any of this pillar goes down, any of these pillars goes down, the whole structure goes down. So if people are losing their job, the government will pay to assure their education in more creative job for free. So they do not in this way, we make sure their quality of life doesn't decrease. We fulfill this social development. The government has a role here because it gives money to people to re-educate and to work on fields that are more creative. So automation and AI, it is sustainable. Why? Because it takes over the routine work and liberates the free energy and free creative energy of humans. Humans are known basically on creativity, correct? So if we liberate the time for creativity, we have more efficiency, we have more efficacy, we have everything. So this way, we ensure that people work in more creative job. This is a continuous process. So if you manage it rightly, according to this concept, you are always sustainable. And AI and automation is a huge field of development in agro, and it is a sustainable one. Fulfills, it is in my article in 2016. It is in the book. Fulfills the three criteria, and I go one by one why it fulfills the three criteria and who can help. Science and technology is the first one, but government can give money to develop, can create frameworks that the technology does not go against human rights, so it doesn't go against this criteria. And also we need education to educate new people, young people, new generation, in order to develop more technologies and fulfill this concept, and civil society is continuous education. So they are all in the same, this concept, it is all inclusive. There is none in the world that is not included here. So
Very good.
It is here. So Rio Agro is the right time, right place to be launched.
Excellent, Dr. Florian. Well, I had the pleasure of talking to one of the greatest scientists in the world. And also, besides being a scientist, he is a great executive, a great entrepreneur. He was elected Environmental CEO of the Year. And this was in 2017, right, Dr. Florian?
Yes, correct. Yeah.
And you lead a community of thousands of scientists from 80 countries, including 30 Nobel Prizes, 30 Nobel laureates. And it's going to be a pleasure meeting you again in Rio de Janeiro for RIO+AGRO that is going to be taking place from the 29th of July to the 2nd of August. And Dr. Florian Kongoli will be the opening day as a keynote and with all the authorities, and also as a keynote speaker during the event. Thank you, Dr. Florian, and see you in Rio de Janeiro, the marvelous city.
Oh, it will be a pleasure to come again in the city of my honorary citizen. As Carioca, I'll enjoy jumping not only in the water this time, but in the green field of Rio Agro.
Very good. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave your like, your comment, and share this video so we can reach more people and show the Brazilian agro to the world. It's a pleasure having you. See you again on Thursday in a version in Portuguese, and on Tuesday with another keynote speaker here at RIO+AGRO Talks. It was a pleasure having you. See you next time.
O agro do Brasil sempre vai brilhar. Só precisa abraçar. Nosso povo e o mundo inteiro vão ganhar. Nosso agro é um país que se empodera, e o fruto desse orgulho é o melhor pra nossa terra. RIO+AGRO é a riqueza que Deus deu pra gente, vem de grão em grão. RIO+AGRO é a certeza que plantando milho milho vai virar milhão. E o mais agro é a riqueza que Deus deu pra gente, vem de grão em grão. E o mais agro é a certeza que plantando milho vai virar milhão.